All right, thank you for watching. This is a video of how to install Claude Code on your Windows computer. And installing Claude Code on Windows can be a little bit tricky, so hopefully this video helps. We have a lot of people sign up for our AI trainings, and they kind of get hung up on actually installing Claude Code. And yeah, this should help. I'm going to go very slowly, and you might think that I'm going too slowly. And if you do, I apologize. Hopefully you can skip ahead. But the reason why we like to do it this way is we found a lot of success with helping people and taking them through this guide specifically. So there are a couple of different ways to install Claude Code. We like this way the best. But before we start with Claude Code, and this is a new computer that I've purchased specifically to record Windows Windows training guides for Claude Code users. Where was I? Yes, before we show you how to install Claude Code, and when I say we, I really mean myself and Claude. Before we show you how to install Claude Code, I'm going to take you through a couple of steps that might be helpful to help you understand Anthropic, which makes Claude, help you understand their ecosystem. All right, so before you can get started with Claude Code, you need to have a subscription to Claude. All right, and this is what pricing looks like. So it's really affordable for an individual. $17 max, $100. I'm on the max plan. If you're starting out, the pro plan should be fine. For teams and enterprise, a standard seat, $20, premium seat, $100. And you can think of the difference in price as being like how much Claude is available to you. So if you have a pro plan, you'll run out of credits a little bit faster, or a lot faster than if you have the max plan. Okay, so pretty simple, right? Again, if you probably already knew this, but this is part of the process. Okay, so there are all kinds of different ways to access Claude. I'm on the browser. I'm on my browser right now, like Google Chrome. Okay, and I can access Claude by going to claude.ai, and I can chat with it there. But what we're going to do is we're going to install the Claude desktop app, which is it's a great app to have. Highly recommend it, and it has a few more features and bells and whistles than the Claude here in the Chrome browser. All right, so let's download Claude desktop for Windows. All right. Installation steps, visit the Claude downloads page. All right, so you could just type in claude.com/download. All right, you need to know what version of Windows you have here, if you have Windows or Windows ARM64. And I am not a Windows user, so I apologize in advance if I don't say things properly, and you'll probably see me not use any of the Windows shortcut keys. I'm not familiar with those. All right, but here we are. We're going to download Claude Desktop for normal Windows. All right. Do I want to run this file? Of course. All right, so now Claude Desktop is installed to my machine. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to continue with Google. Again, you already need a plan for this. I already have my plan. All right, I'm going to open Claude here. Nice. I'm just going to click through this. Okay, now you'll see here at the top, chat and code. And you're probably thinking, well, that's exactly where I wanted to be, right? Claude Code. You can access Claude Code through the Claude desktop app. That is one way that you can access Claude Code. And that way, there's probably lots of benefits that I don't know about, but that is not the way we like for our training attendees to access Claude Code. But I did just want you to come in here and access the desktop app so you can see the difference. All right, here's the Claude desktop app, and here is Claude in Chrome. All right, and they look virtually the same. Same good afternoon, Robert. Same user interface. Okay, what we're going to do now is we are going to close out of the Claude on Google Chrome. And I am going to look at my script to the left here. Oh yeah, great. So before I made this training video, I made a document for you that you can just paste into Claude. All right, and you can say, you can type, hey, I'm installing Claude Code today. Please use this guide to help me. All right, and so if you run into any trouble, you can just ask Claude here on the desktop, or you could even do it back in Chrome, and you can ask it to walk you through this installation. All right, and I am going to change the model here from Sonnet 4.5 to Opus 4.5. And Opus 4.5 is Claude's most powerful model. That's the one that we use. I would say always go with Opus 4.5. I've got a sneeze coming on. Let's see what happens here. All right. It did not come to fruition there. All right. So here's Claude. All right. Hey, Robert, great to see you're ready to install Claude Code. I've got your installation guide loaded up and ready to walk through it. Let's go step by step. All right, so here's what we'll be doing. Install Git for Windows, install Python, install VS Code, install Claude Code, add Claude path, restart VS Code and authenticate. If you're non-technical, you can see exactly why we made this video. Again, it can be a little bit intimidating, but don't worry, you'll be fine. All right, so install Git for Windows. All right, and really what we're doing is installing Git Bash for Windows. All right, so I'm just gonna click here to download. And to make a long story short, Git has a piece of software that makes it so that, Git has a piece of software that allows Claude Code to speak with your Windows machine. Claude Code initially came out on Mac, which is a different operating system. Mac and Linux work in a different way to Windows, and if you're technical, you're probably you're like, yeah, keep going. And if you are non-technical, you're like, okay, let's get on with it too. All right, so I am installing Git here. Again, this is a necessary process. All right, just hit next. See how I'm not changing anything. Oh, now here we go. Git from the command line and also third-party software, this option. Well, I think, yeah, let's hit next here. I think that's right. Hope so. I still haven't changed any settings. You might be like, oh man, this is a lot. It is a lot. And I should clarify that I don't know what 75% of this means myself, but here's the installation. I'm going to turn my space heater up. I'm in an old hardware store that has been converted into a co-working space. All right, complete the Git setup. I think we're good. We will finish. This definitely looks like a pop-up that you would get after you clicked on a bad email. All right, there we go. All right, so we just installed Git. Let's come back over to Claude desktop. All right, so next it says install Python. So we can write Python code with Claude Code. You don't necessarily have to do it, but I highly recommend it. Now, if you're technical, you probably have Python on your machine. If you are non-technical, you need Python. Install Python. Go. All right. Yeah, let's install Python. That was fast. All right. Python and some other apps can exceed this limit. Yeah. So, yeah, update setting now. Yeah, sure. I'm going to hit Y and then hit enter. All right. Yeah, sure. We'll do that. Install the latest version of CPython. Sure, why not? All right. And we're going to hit no for going online. All right. You did not have to do that to get Claude Code installed. All right. But that is a necessary coding language, or a very important coding language for Claude Code to be able to access. Claude Code can access lots of different coding tools, and Python has a lot of libraries and cool coding tools, so it's great to have Python on your computer before you download Claude Code. And sorry if that was a little bit technical there when I was hitting the Y and the N and everything in the terminal, but we're going to have to kind of get used to that anyway. All right, so all right, we've got Git installed and we've got Python installed. And what's the next thing we need? VS Code. All right. So VS Code, we're going to be spending a lot of time in here. VS Code is, that is going to be the application that you spend the most time in, because that is where Claude Code, where you'll access Claude Code from. All right, so VS Code is very important. I'm going to go ahead and close out of that incognito window. All right, we're going to install VS Code. Yep. Oh, yeah. Let me read this really fast. All right, I'm going to create a desktop icon. All of this stuff looks right. Okay, here we go. Oh, wow, we're already at 14 minutes. All right, let's launch Visual Studio Code. All right. So you'll see all of these agent notifications and using AI features with Copilot for free. Don't pay attention to those right now. Actually, I never pay attention to them. I am a non-technical Claude Code user, so if you are technical, you probably know more about those features than I do. All right, I'm going to close this out. Now I'm going to close this out. I guess one of the cool things we could do is choose a theme, like dark modern, dark high contrast, light high contrast. I'm going to go with dark modern. All right, cool. I'm going to close out of this. All right. And what should we do now? Okay, let's do this. All right. So the way that we will interact with Claude Code in VS Code is through the terminal inside of VS Code. All right, and this is the same terminal that you could access through other means in your computer, but what you really need to know is we will be accessing the terminal in VS Code to access Claude Code. All right, so here we go. I click the 3 dots, terminal, new terminal, and it opens down here, but that isn't a lot of surface area to interact with. So I'm going to drag this up here so that I have more surface area. And for some reason, it's cutting off I don't know why my folder name is Robert, but we'll deal with that. Okay, so I have VS Code, I have Git, and I have Python. Let's go back. Next thing we needed to do, install Claude Code via PowerShell command. What does that mean? All right, let's see. How do I do number 4? Open the terminal. We've done that. Check the terminal type. All right, it should say PowerShell. It does say PowerShell. Perfect. All right, paste this command. Copy. Here we go. Hopefully this command installs Claude Code. I know it looks like it's not doing anything. We just need to give it some time. All right, setting up Claude Code. Oh, here we go. Perfect. All right. This is a very common error. And you will not be able to run Claude Code unless you fix this error. So you see here on the setup notes, native installation exists, but this is not in your path. All right. And Claude is giving us, or Claude is explaining to us what we need to do next. All right. Add it by opening system, properties, environment variables, edit user path, new, add the path above, okay? And this is the path. This is the path right here. You see when I mouse over it, it underlines, that's the path. All right. But let's just say that was still a little bit tricky for me and I needed some more help. All right, I could always copy this. Again, not a Windows user. You can see I accidentally hit the wrong key. All right. You could say, hey, what does this mean? I am non-technical. What do I do? No worries, this is totally normal. It just means Claude Code installed successfully, but Windows doesn't know where to find it yet. Let's fix that together. All right. Press the Windows key on your keyboard, type in ENV, and you'll see a search result. ENV. Oh. Okay, and let's see. We see system environment variables and edit environment variables for your account. All right, let me go back. Edit environment variables for your account, not the system one. Perfect. All right, let's do that again. All right. And now we are supposed to look for path, okay? A window will pop open. In the top section, user variables, look for path and click on it to highlight it. All right, user variables, here's path. Then we click the edit button. Then in the new window, we click the new button. And then we type exactly that. So let me copy that. All right, so I'm gonna hit new. Paste that in there. Okay. Okay. All right, and then we can click OK again to close the environment variables window. All right, then we need to completely close VS Code and reopen VS Code. All right. Fair enough, we can do that. Here we go. What have I done here? I don't know how to make myself smaller. Let's see. Exit full screen. Perfect. All right. So I'm going to type in Claude again. Or sorry, when I said Claude again, I misspoke. After you install and you add the, you change your environment variables just like we did. In the future, whenever you want to open up Claude Code, you will type in Claude, and that's sort of like rubbing the lamp for the genie to come out. Okay, and so we can see Claude Code here in VS Code. All right, remember we have Claude Code in the desktop, or sorry, we have Claude in the desktop. There's so many Claudes. We have Claude here in the desktop, and then we have Claude Code in VS Code. All right, and it's asking us to choose the text style that looks best. All right, I'm going to choose dark mode, and then it wants us to link our subscription, which is fine. All right, we're all set up. We can go back to VS Code. All right, press enter to continue. Claude can make mistakes due to prompt injection risks. Use it with code you trust. Prompt injection is that's another topic. We'll have to cover that in another video. They're right to give you a little bit of a notice there. All right, so use Claude Code's terminal setup. Yeah, we're going to use the recommended settings. Just wants to make sure that this is a safe computer that we can use. And yeah, it's fine. Okay, so now we're in the Claude Code. That's pretty great. All right, I just want to exit out of VS Code and kind of take you through, do you want to allow public and private networks to access this app? Yeah, sure. All right. So I want to walk you through why Claude Code is different than talking to like normal Claude or ChatGPT. So I'm going to close out of VS Code. I'm going to close out of all the other windows too, except for Claude Desktop. All right, and so this says chat, and we really are just chatting with this really incredibly smart generalist. But it's kind of like talking to an incredibly smart generalist over the phone, okay? Claude Code would be like if you took that incredibly smart generalist and then you put them in your house, all right? But in this example, the house is a folder on your computer, or maybe your computer. And so when Claude Code comes into your house, it can change things. It can build a new room. It can change your floor. It can put put, like a new bed in a bedroom. It can make all these changes to the real digital world rather than just answer questions. So the ability to write data is really important, or the ability to create data. It's kind of mind blowing when you realize what it can do and what this means for knowledge work for the next however many years. I guess we're never going back. So what I want to do is let's see if we have any other steps that I forgot about. All right. Install Claude, add Claude to path. We did that. Restart VS Code. Yeah, we already did all of this. So technically you have Claude Code, but let me just show you something that's really important. Let me just create a folder here on my desktop. How do you do that? How do you do? Here we go. New folder. Claude. Yes. All right. So I exited out of everything. I'm going to open up VS Code. Yeah. All right, so we created the Claude test folder, and now I'm going to reopen VS Code. There we go. And I'm going to open a folder. And this is this is important to note. Claude Code, when you open a folder, it is sort of interacting and living inside of that folder, right? That's the house example. The folder is the house. So you need to choose which folder you want it to interact with you in, right? We installed Claude Code on our entire machine, but when we open Visual Studio Code, we need to start with a folder. Now, technically, your desktop is a folder. Technically, your downloads are a folder. There are different hierarchies of folders, but I just want to start small. And that is why I want to start with the Claude test folder, okay? So we're inviting Claude into this very empty house, all right? Do I trust the authors of the files? Yes, there are really no files in it anyway. All right, and this is what VS Code looks like. And so we're going to go back to the terminal, right? We're going to drag the terminal up here. Okay, and remember, to summon the genie, we type in Claude. All right. Yes, this is a project that we trust, or we trust this folder. Okay. Here we go. All right. So again, Claude can make additions to your house. All right, so let's see what that looks like. So let's say, hey, oh, okay, one thing. Before I ask Claude to make a file in your folder, check it out. This folder is empty. It has no files inside of it whatsoever. The folder is empty. We're going to say, hey, make a txt file with the name Robert on it inside this folder. I don't need to say inside this folder. It knows that it would be working inside this folder. Okay, here we go. Hey, make a txt file with the name Robert. All right, do we want to create robert.txt? Yes. Allow all edits during the session. All right, it created the file on my computer. There it is. So you can see how if you asked it to do something more important, like make a software application and put it on your computer, it could do that. The txt file is the smallest possible example, but it can create some pretty impressive software for you, even if you're not a technical person. You know, like myself, I don't know how to code, or I wish I did. I wish I had enough patience to learn, but it turns out my timing was pretty good, because it's a lot easier now if all you can, if the only coding language you know is English.